just wanted to have a little segue to some news that I got that almost everybody that's on my feed is going to want to know. So this just came across the Tesla information page. So it turns out that anybody who's taking delivery of a Model S after 2017, and I believe it says if you order after 2017 or if you take delivery after, I believe it's April, and I have a link to the article, but long story short, supercharging will not be free anymore. You'll have to pay for it. Let me say that again because that's a huge deal. It makes sense, but a lot of people thinking about Teslas right now are basing their thoughts off of free supercharging. Even people that have reservations for the Model 3, I'm sure there's a very large portion of them that are buying this car based on the fact that supercharging is free. And let me say it again, there's a new article that just came out on the Tesla site. Supercharging is not going to be free. The article says that they're going to include, I believe it said about 1,000 kilowatts, or maybe it said 400. I can't think of it now. I got to read it again. But they're including 400 kilowatts. They're including something. And I got to read the article again, but I wanted to get something out so that people can read and make a good decision. But anyway, they're going to include a small amount of free supercharging for charging on the highway and on the road. And, it's going to be whatever it is, 1,000 miles, 2,000 miles, whatever it is, it's going to be finite. It's going to end. And after that, you're going to have to pay. And it's a very small amount from what the article says. They haven't released any details on how much you're going to pay, but you're going to have to pay regardless. So now the discussion becomes, and I know it's going to be better, but the discussion is going to shift from electric versus gas to electric and the cost of supercharging versus gas. The cost is still going to be minute. One of the things that he said is that it's going to be just like charging your phone. You charge it at home, you charge it at work, and those are the two best places because your car is going to be sitting idle and you're not going to be doing anything with it. Most people aren't going to take a lot of road trips, so it makes a little bit of sense. But again, there's probably a good portion of people that were thinking, oh, if I get a Tesla, I don't have to have a charger in my garage. Or, you might not have a garage and you might be banking on the fact that, hey, I can just go up the street and charge for free every couple of days. I know there's people right now that have Teslas that do that, and they're really not supposed to. But again, this is what's coming down the road. So anybody that's watching this, I would say go ahead and read the article and pay attention to what the amount is going to be, because I don't think it should shift your thought on whether you should buy the car or not. Because again, the cost of ownership, and I've talked about that in another video. If you want to go check out my video, the things I don't like and things I do like, I talk about the cost of ownership. And I actually just did another quick calculation about where I was at right now on mileage and comparing cost of electricity to cost of gas. $150 for upwards of 3,000 miles versus upwards of $500 if I were to convert that into gas. So, it was almost a fifth of what the cost would be. So it's still very economical to drive an electric car, but most everybody's basing it on the fact that, supercharging is free for the life of the car, coast to coast travel. That's if you have your Tesla right now. And that's if you have your Tesla before 2017, at least April. If you don't, you're going to have to pay. So consider that. I know there's a lot of people that are on the fence. Pretty much, if you're just now putting your reservation in for the Model 3, you forget it. you're probably not even going to get your car until 2018, because there's at least 400,000 people in front of you right now. So kudos and shouts to everyone who jumped in and got that Model 3 reservation in. We got ours in. I also just picked up the Model S since, But anyway, hopefully the people who are on the fence, I would advise you to definitely go get that reservation in. Not even so much for the supercharging, but if you're not, really up to speed on how the federal grants work, the federal tax rebate, after, and I believe it's 200,000 cars, that rebate starts to go down. So again, you've already got X amount of Tesla Model X's and Model S's on the road right now. You've got 400,000 plus people that have already got their order in. A good portion of those will get their car beginning of next year. There's going to be 200,000 cars on the road, or whatever the number is. They're going to be on the road next year. So on top of not having free supercharger access, now you're going to have a lower federal tax rebate. So these are things to consider. Again, I don't think it should sway you, but it's something to consider, because that's all I've talked about is, hey, I get free travel for the life of the car. And now it's definitely a benefit, because it's not going to be there anymore. Even the car that my wife is thinking about getting, it might not have it. We're going to have to talk about that. Like, hey, if this is something that you want, you might want to jump the line and maybe try to just get an inventory car that's already made, because, if you have to pay for supercharging, I don't think it's going to be a big deal. It'll probably be comparable cost-wise to what you'd spend for gas. So if you want to fill up, your fill up is going to be 60 kilowatts, and maybe it's going to cost you a few bucks. It's not going to be a lot, because again, you're just paying based on electricity. Even if you add in a convenience fee and say it's, a quarter per kilowatt, you're still only paying, a few bucks. And that's going to get you much, much further than the comparable amount of gas. So, again, I just wanted to get this video out real quick. Read the article, and I'll post it down there somewhere. I'll try to get the link installed, but Tesla Supercharging is not going to be free for the life of the car for people starting in 2017. That's a very big deal. It makes economic sense, because with that many cars on the road, it's almost impossible to give free charging to everyone. I don't know how they do it right now, but they do it, and I appreciate it, Elon and whoever else is up there making decisions. But for those of you that don't have your Tesla right now, that's something you really want to consider. And it might be worthwhile when you're figuring the life. Now, again, think, this is the life of the car. This is for anyone who might be leasing their car. And say their lease is up in 3 years. When you get that new car, it's not guaranteed that you'll have free supercharging on that car. I'll have to read and see if legacy owners will get grandfathered in even if they purchase a new car. That's another thing to think about. So it's a big shakeup. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of pissed off folks. But if you look at it from a business sense, it makes sense. There's no way you can provide a free service on a car that you are intending to sell 400,000 or 500,000 copies of. It's just not going to happen. And on top of that, you'll end up saturating the market or saturating your supply to where you're going to have people waiting. Like, there's sometimes you go to certain superchargers, you have people waiting now, and it's really not that many Teslas on the road. When you add another 200,000 Model 3s and everybody gets to charge for free, you can imagine what it's going to look like. Say, going down to LA and you're at the bottom of the Grapevine supercharger, it's going to be insane. So in that sense, I'm somewhat happy that they're charging, and that's petty of me, I understand, but it is what it is. It's opportunity. I jumped after a lot of people before me jumped, and they got theirs. And hey, if you can do it, I say you got to go for it, because free supercharging is beautiful, and that luxury is coming to a finite end. It is going to end in about 2 months. depending on how this April delivery date, you know, maybe 6, but get in while you can, ladies and gentlemen. Again, if you didn't watch the first part of the video, supercharging is going to end. Free supercharging for the life of the car, which Tesla owners have now, is going away. You will be charged to use the superchargers on the road. There's more information, so just go ahead and subscribe. I'll keep y'all updated for what I read about it. I get these little blurbs on the Tesla owner site, so I'll keep y'all updated, but, you know, stay tuned. There's going to be more information about this, so thanks for checking in. Hopefully someone out there is going to make their decision. If you do decide to get your Tesla, go ahead and check my discount code. I'll put that there too, and that'll get you $1,000 off. Hey, it helps. You know, I use the discount code to get mine. I appreciate it. So thanks for checking in, and we'll catch up with y'all in a little bit.